I think now everything's good. Let me share your audio too. Okay, now they can hear you. Is everything good? Let me check. Let me check from my phone to make sure everything on stream is good. Let me check. And if you guys can hear me, y'all can let me know, okay? And let me share it on Discord too. Alright, everyone, we're live. Alright, so I just shared it on Discord. I think now everything's good. Guys can hear me, y'all can let me know, okay? And let me share it on Discord too. Alright, can you hear? Perfect. Perfect. Alright, everyone, we're live. Let me add the media source for background music. Alright, so I just shared it on Discord. I think now everything's good. Guys can hear me, y'all can let me know. Alright. So, let me see who's this guy. Okay, so can you hear? Alright, perfect. So let's just go ahead and start. We got Merchant on the house. So this is Merchant. Do you want to say hi?
Hi, everyone.
Alright, so again, we're probably gonna go for like an hour and a half max. We're gonna see the trades of the week that we took, the losses, and also Merchant will probably do his part too. He will do his part. He will go over his charts, the things he was looking at, the trades he took, the trades he did not take, stuff like that. So without further ado, we're probably gonna go ahead and start with NSCs because NSCs like is the one that most of the people trade, and then probably if we got time, we'll go to oil. If not, then we'll just probably cap it off right there. So, yep. Do you want me to share my screen with you, Merchant, or you're on stream or what?
Yeah, I'm watching the stream. Yeah.
All right, perfect. Let me just do this. So yeah, let's just start, man. Let's get it started. So like this is a chart for just end of week, and end of day and end of week. So this is like that place where I do my end of week recaps, which
Monday was a holiday, but
yeah. But I did take a trade by the way on Monday. Let me open my.
There was a good opportunity there as well.
Let me open my funded futures to the side. That way I'll have the terminal to see all the trades
Have
that
you
I
passed
took.
the challenge? Have you finished the challenge?
Yep, it's done.
Oh, you're live now, right?
Yep.
So you trade minis, right?
Depending on like which one.
Okay.
Depending on the asset, but yeah. All right, let me see. So I traded Monday. I took a trade on gold. Let me see. It's the 16th. I think I traded gold. Yeah, I remember to trade on gold. It was an easy M15. By the way, I took it on M15. So let's just go to gold. Even though, like I said, I want to start with NSCs, but like there was a clean trade on Monday.
There's a lot of echo. Yeah.
Maybe you can just join on. Oh, there's echo. Wait.
I was talking about for me.
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
hear me now?
Yeah, maybe because you're on stream and you hear your voice back. That's why. So you just have to close the stream and probably stay on Zoom.
No, I'm on mute on stream.
You're muted on stream?
No, like I muted
Okay.
the YouTube video.
Maybe it's better. Look. Let's just share the screen because that way you can react instantly to what I'm doing, so you can give a response.
Okay.
But if you wait for the chat, you'll be.
Okay. Let me allow. You can send it here. Yeah, it says better right now.
Let me see. So I can share my second screen.
I do have a mic, but my son takes my mic and uses it to do something else. Like when it comes to the office when I'm not in there.
But your audio is good. So it's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm just go to Monday really quickly. It was an easy two-stage PSP form, trading away from the high of day. This is New York time, but for me, yeah, this is a trade I took. I remember. This is a trade I took. It was an easy day. This was an easy trade, forming the high of that 6 a.m. Forming the high of 2 a.m. Trading away. So I'm just go ahead and replay price.
Oh, you took it in M15?
Yep. I took this. It was
Yeah,
a
you
real
see,
clean. It was a real clean swing.
Yeah, you see what I'm
Closed
talking
somewhere in
about.
here. I think it closed here or here. I don't remember. Let me see.
You see what I'm talking about? Like I want to see this failure and this swing when before getting on a trade. That failure, like there's just something that works when you start to see those failure and then Like it makes a lot of sense. That's like what I look for in trades. Like you see here as well. Those, you know, like you start saying those things, it's really, I don't know, it's just epic when I see them.
Yeah, just kind of failure to close above and then taking out the lows.
Yeah. Once I start seeing the
Mm,
failure, and then you probably seeing like a change of the state of the
mm,
delivery and displacement below
mm-hmm,
or the other direction, it's just good,
mm.
Mostly like on a premium level. So like here you see you're in this range here, you're in the premium. Or if even though you go
Mm.
here, you probably be in a premium, from down
Yeah,
the whole
I think
range.
on both ways it'll be yeah,
Yeah,
AQ.
yeah,
This one's also
yeah,
like
yeah.
above the AQ. So
Mm-hmm.
and for me, like for the failure to CIZ, I use it to close my trade. Like in terms of management, for the people that are here, they
Hmm.
know. Like for example, if I'm entering on M3, let me just go to M3. Probably will see some sort of failure to CIZ here. Let me see if I can find one. I cannot actually find one because it's just like continued dump lower. But yeah, when I see, for example, in that case, like if you see really that candle, fair to
Hmm.
CISD, if I see like the second candle fail into CISD, I will just probably trail my stop or close the trade, depending on how far it is from current price. But I don't use it for
Okay.
like in terms of entry. But it's a really good one. I think on the 30 minute, I think on the 45, that was the signature for me. Yep, it was the 45. I think it was not 30 minute. I think we had a two. Yeah, this one. We had a two-stage PSP. This one formed the PSP. We got the second stage. There's nothing really here that would hold price. And if you really check, there was just this gap. I think I targeted the gap, or I targeted the low. I
Yeah,
forgot.
that's the gap. The gap.
Let me see what price I closed in. Let me see the price I closed in.
But you still have like more of a like change in the state of the Cause we did take
Ye-
this low, that is changed. So
mm.
it kind of reacted, but didn't do nothing.
But like in terms of the daily profile, we opened high. Like if you really check, this is 1800. We traded above a relevant swing. I think we did put in an
Hmm.
SMT there. Let me check. Let me go to silver. I think we did put in an FMT there. Where is 1800? See, it will be easy. Yep, we did. So if you really check, we put in like an SMT with not really, not really. This SMT already failed. But yeah, anyways, if you really check on a 4 hour, in terms of the profiling, I really forgot. Oh yeah, easy. Okay. This is 1800. It pushed lower. We formed that new invalidation level. So if price wants to trade lower, it will do it from this gap. And within that gap, there was that two-stage cracking correlation. Price was just slowly trading back up, traded back into that gap, which is the new invalidation level, trading away from the high of day that was formed off of a manipulation. Let me take that off. That was formed off of a manipulation. I just got this M15 signature. It was really clean. Oh, by the way, I was wanting to enter on the M5, and there was this entry on M5. But if you really check, the minute we got this CISD on M5, I was like, let me check the M15, and it was just like an M15 clean entry. So I just took it on M5. But if I was gonna take it on M5, there was a gap, or the M3, I forgot. There was a gap, by the way, that I was gonna enter from. Yeah, it was this tiny gap or this tiny gap, I forgot. But I was like, let me just
So
market execute.
what you entered in Asia or London?
This is like almost London. It's 5. So it's London. It's already London, like 2 hours in London.
Yeah. That's one thing I noticed. I
Mm.
noticed like during gold moves between the Asia and London.
Yeah, it
Cleaner.
really, and also silver, man. Nowadays, just like Asian session has just been doing some crazy stuff. So, yeah, and yeah, that was really it. That was like a clean entry, just trading away from the hive day, and I closed at. It says here at 5,000. Where's 5,000? Oh, 5,000 is somewhere in here. So this is somewhere in here. I closed. I don't know why. I think maybe the cap.
Yeah, that's a good psychological level to close. That's
Yeah,
like
and I closed there. Let me see what price did next. Retraced, and yeah, ended up dumping for. But yeah, that was like an easy trade and in a clean trade. That's why I traded earlier because I knew like the market would close. No, close in like 2 p.m. I guess. Let me see what time it closed. Yeah, 2 p.m. Yeah, 2 p.m. market closed, and it was a good setup. So I just took that one. And you wanna go do your Monday, or I wanna do the whole week and then you do yours? Maybe you.
Monday was just 2 years, and I'll probably say because I only trade NQ
All right.
most times.
All right. Perfect. So let's just now go to. So that was kind of that setup for Monday. It was a clean. What was it like 1 to 4, 1 to 3? I'm not sure. Oh, let me check. 5,000 here, like 1 to 2.5. If you got in with the retracement, that could have been crazy RR, but no need. Like it gives 2R already. So Now we got an NQ, put an ES here. Let me see the trade I took. On Tuesday, I traded, what's that, the 17th? It says here that I traded what? Let me see, I traded RB. Okay, I traded RB on the 17th. So let's just keep continuing with NQ, and then probably I'll do my trade recap. I think the latest, probably. So let's just go to NQ and see if there was a trade that we could have taken here. This is 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Let me just clear the drawings. Was there an SMT here? Yeah, so far looking at this, we traded below your level, we get the SMT, we traded below. I think the only thing we can do is just like probably try to frame the low of this 10 a.m. candle. Again, this is not a trade I took. This is just end of week recap. So in terms of trades, like ideally if you want to trade reversal, we require like a two-stage PSP, which I don't think we have here. Yeah, we don't have a two-stage PSP 30-minute. Also, we don't have, I'll trade it below the low. If we look at YM, yeah, we traded below the low. So it's not really a two-stage PSP here. 45, same. 90-minute, I think same. It's freezing up. I don't know why. So yeah, in terms of if you want to trade this reversal, ideally you want to require like a two-stage crack correlation, or you can trade away from a gap. Okay, as long as there's something here. So there was a setup that I missed on. So let me see, what was that setup? I think it's just that one stage crack correlation here, away from the low of 10 a.m. We got these fair swings here sitting above. And if you really check, I think on a 30-minute, yeah, we got a C2 closure on a 30-minute. So this is what I do. Let me just, so let's just imagine price is trading lower. If I want to take this, if I want to trade from here, like this is that reversal, either I require a two-stage cracking correlation, or we expand, we form a gap, and then we form like a C2 closure and trade either into that high or like a high somewhere in here. I don't trade into this high, because like if you really look at it, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, you don't really expect this low to get taken out. So sometimes you just take a pullback trade, depending on. But if we took like if there was a range, if we had a range, that's like more of order pairing ranges. So now you can take to range high, because just this is like that accumulation manipulation distribution. But in that case, that wasn't the case. We just expanded lower. The range low got taken out already here. So if you really check, we traded below the range low here, and then we took it one more time, failed to reverse, and then another time, then we started reversing. So ideally, just want to be out by this high. Since there is no gap here, that would really cause price reverse. C2 closure from a gap, expanding away from the low of day and also the low of 10 a.m. And there's something I always mention on stream. So for example, this is the start of 10 a.m. This is 1400, so this is that 10 a.m. candle. So for example, this is the first 2 hours. You go to the first 2 hours, you see what invalidation level you have within these 2 hours that 10 a.m. already traded, and ideally you want to expand from it. If you really check, this is 10 a.m. 11, within it we got this gap, and we still got this is where that 10 a.m. candle closes. So we traded from there, new invalidation level within the range of the 10 a.m. candle. So C2 closure. Now you're aligned with that 4-hour candle. 1800, let me see, where's 1800. 1800 is here. So now not only that, also you're trading near the opening price, and if you're trading near the opening price, you can also target the current high of day. This is like the max you can target. You don't ideally want to go beyond it, since price made this big opposing run. So now this candle doesn't support expansion, so you either can get out at the high or also current high of day. But this time I think, yeah, this time I couldn't take that trade because I had my plane literally at this time. This was like 2 a.m. in Bangkok, so that's why I couldn't really take that trade. It was a beautiful trade. C2 closure, and again, since we're requiring one stage cracking correlation, we don't have one here. YM, we don't have a cracking correlation. Also, yes, so ideally you're trying to like frame it on M15, and we only have, I think we had a low, yeah. The only thing you could probably frame, this is 1300, so the first 15-minute candle close, then you would require like a one stage cracking correlation, which we have here with the low. And then if you go to M3, yep, you just go with that CISD, stops at the low. We get this 2-stage. So you can either wait for this CISD, which I wouldn't actually, because this candle is not the bulkiest. So I would wait for this one. We got the closure, and you could take it back to this high or to the high. Again, trading away from the low of day, low of 10 a.m. New invalidation level formed.
you're just taking the full M50 candle.
Nope. I would require like the changing state on the M3.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got the closure
So
here.
yeah,
If
yeah.
you really check, put stop here or here. This one is enough
Mm-hmm.
because this is the low of the new 15-minute candle. And then, as I said, let me do this as 1800 to make it cleaner. Make this one blue. Orange is just for CISD. It's a bit ugly. Blue. And this one, let me make it current hive day. I think I do have here something. Nope. Let me just do this. Current hive day. And just go bold. Make it a little bit bigger. Alright, so this is the current hive day. So you could either, again, since we go for 2R, this one would be enough for me. If you want to go for further, this is a perfect 3R trade. Again, no, you cannot trade this reversal from the get-go. Even with this like hourly closure, I wouldn't really be willing to trade from it. I would wait for this 30-minute gap and then that C2 closure. I think on N15 we also have it. Yep. Yep, but ideally, wait for that C2 closure. Clean pullback. Low of 10 a.m. Low above it from a key level. So now we can target the high or that current hive day. And that could have been a clean trade too. You can trade either NQ or YM, but here we have a strength switch. And if you guys really check, NQ was the weaker asset. And then if you go to M15, which we got that correct correlation, it became stronger. So now this is your strength switch, this is your trigger. And ideally you want this asset, since you're looking for buys, ideally you want to trade the one that went from weaker to stronger. So you can catch up to that high really quickly in terms of speed. And if you really check, NQ, they trade above the current hive day first and also above that high first. So that was trigger, strength switch, and that's your trigger. We did not have any PSPs there. 45, let me check if I don't 45. Not really. So that could have been the trade for Tuesday. You know what? You can do your trade. That's gonna be easier for me to kind of. You can go over your trade now, merchant. You can share your screen. I'll put it on stream, and then once you finish, I'll do mine.
All right, let me see.
Yep. Can you explain how the 4-hour swing is confirmed on the 1 hour and 30-minute GxT posted on his IG? So here's what you want to see. Let me just answer that question, and then we can go. If you
Yeah.
want to try to profile a 4-hour candle, the first thing you ask yourself, does the day still supports expansion? If it does, okay, that's good. Again, second thing is, are we trading near the opening price, or have we formed a profile on a daily that would support this 4-hour candle expanding into your intended direction or not? And the last thing is, are we forming this 4-hour candle from key level? In that case, first, we traded in from a key level, but since all the assets were expanding lower, now this is a reversal candle. Ideally, you want to confirm it with like an hourly swing. This is what I used to do. Now I don't do it that often. You want to see a manipulation of the 6 a.m. low, 4-hour candle, and then forming a swing with like a two-stage cracking correlation, which we don't have here. So now what do we have? 6 a.m. expanding lower, 10 a.m. manipulating the low of 6 a.m. because either the key level is going to reverse or the low of 6 a.m. In that case, we had them both. We already traded into the key level, so the only area we can reverse from is the 6 a.m. low. And then you would like to see a two-stage cracking correlation, which we don't have in that case. That's why we did not trade this expansion. If you miss that push, what do you need to see? Gap, which are the displacement that we look for. And then you want to see a one-stage or two-stage cracking correlation here with like a C2 closure. If you want to see a two-stage PSP, you can trade the C2. If you don't have, you trade the C3 into that current 4-hour candles high, or like the current high of day, or that journal liquidity that was still available. So I hope that answers your question. How can I join the Discord? Every time I click the join, it says unable to join. Not really. Let me share a new link for Discord. Let me share a new link. Copy, paste. Check this one and let me know. And now we're gonna go to immersion chart. So can you share your screen, brother?
Let me see.
Let me stop sharing
I'm
mine.
hoping I'm hoping this will ensure the screen good.
Yep. So let me take it here. Go full screen, and then you can hop on your chart, bro.
It's showing you a good channel.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me see. Thank you. I don't know. It took.
Wait, let me turn off the background music. Maybe it'll cause some noise. All right.
So coming into the week was on Monday, right? So I was getting towards buys. Firstly, I think what's Monday? Monday's what was Monday? What was the date on Monday?
17th. It will
Monday
show
was
like two daily candles. It will show both Tuesday and Monday.
yeah, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Monday was 17th, right? Okay, yeah.
16th. Yeah. So that will be like
Yeah, 16th. So coming to the week, basically I was looking for um I was kind of looking for buys, but that was what I was coming because like I kind of trade like my trade, it's like basically trading the whole week. So I'm looking at this is the previous week, right? So I'm looking at this previous week candle here from like uh from start to finish, meaning, okay, my expectation is that we're either going to either sweep one of this. We're going to go to sweep the current week low or current week high. So coming into the week, that's like what I look at, like in my first start point, like how are we going to? So basically, if my take was like, okay, we're already like way below, we're like in discount of this, which is previous week, which is like from February 2nd, where they started wearing like the discount. So if we keep running close below the 50%, so we could probably still push down way more, you
that.
know? So yeah, that was what I was looking at. Like, okay, we're gonna take previous week low or previous week. The another thing I use from Tom Hogan as well is understanding like more like situational analysis. So basically, situational analysis is like if if Friday's if Friday's low is greater than Thursday's low, there's most likely that Monday will be visiting um Friday's low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just so weird. Yeah, it happens like almost like 80, 85% of the time. So that's like I start framing my work from like, okay, what we're gonna do. So previous Friday day high, previous day low. So now mostly like unlike you, I try to trade my trades like way higher on the most higher time frame. So coming into the week, I didn't trade Monday down, didn't get like good trade on Monday, you know. God knows a holiday, so we're just gonna range. So we started coming down, just left. Uh, so this was expected. If there was no holiday, it would have taken this low first. So now, so coming into Tuesday, what I started looking at was where we are in the range, which is I went to the daily. What's there in the daily? We have this daily fair value gap, you know, where it, and I'll be looking at that. And then in New York, that's where I trade. So coming to New York, I was just waiting for two
Wait,
things.
sorry. How can I go full screen, bro? On
You want me
Zoom.
to go first?
No, mine. Oh
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you do like full screen in your chart? Because like this participant and audio, like this down bar is taking a lot from my screen, so I don't know how to go full screen.
oh,
Can you
if I
go?
go full screen, man, you won't be able to see my screen.
No, 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 not the other screen. Just this one. Just go full screen here.
Where? Which one?
This one. Just go with this one.
I'm coming. Where you sent full screen here? Oh, let me see. Here, right?
That's better.
Good.
That's better.
All
Let
right.
me search your
So
chart too. Let me zoom into your chart. Let me see if I can zoom in.
because
I think yeah.
if I go full screen on my monitor, bro, you won't see
Now it's
nothing.
better. Wait, I just zoomed on from Zoom. Okay, now it's better. Now it's better.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me just lock this
So
one too.
coming in here, before New York, I think I was at so before New York I don't want to open my Alpha Capital here, so everybody's gonna see it. unless I didn't separate it before the call. Uh, they're really good. They give you like 6K more, but you have to pay like an activation fee.
What is that? Can you say that again? What is it?
Alpha Capital,
Oh,
like
okay.
for 150K, you get for 150K account, you get you get what's it called? You get like a 6K loss.
Mm. And like the
End of
to
the
pass like 8K, right?
No, you get like a like the maximum no to pass it like 9K. So you
Mm.
get like four and they pay the highest in like in 2 weeks. So you get like you could take so if you have like 2 or 4 accounts, you could get out 15 grand each payout. Unlike Top Step where I can only take 5K, which is
Mm.
very annoying. Yeah, and then if you take so much, they can move you to live, and live is like only 10K they're giving you right now.
Mm. But I think I saw the Pro on my phone, the futures. That looks good, man. Um, I just saw
Yeah,
like
the Pro,
Garrett the other
that
day
was
took like
like when
50K.
I collected the Pro was the one that when they paid me 20K last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, man, it was
It
good.
was the
Yeah,
Pro.
yeah, it was a Pro. I did the Pro. They gave me 20K last year. I
All
made
right.
20K, yeah, bro. So, the only reason I don't like this is the looking at the hours. So I have to be typing 4H. So coming into, you have to be coming into this. I don't know why I did it, but coming
Yeah,
into
it was like that Nigerian accent, right? Or that
yeah.
nice. I
So
got it.
basically, when we swept this before I came into like, oh, 4H did not close. So I was looking for buys because we already kind of swept it. Like I said, that's why I'm really come out with failure to sweep and just look at what's gonna happen going forward. So I know this is my goal. We're going to sell, but I wanted us to kind of get to this fair value gap here, and then start close below previous day candle. Like don't engulf it. So that's like what I'm looking for. That's like just looking at from the whole directional bias. So from a higher time frame. So M15 sweep. I don't know. I didn't get any trade until I was getting it Wednesday and Thursday, and Friday was gonna go do some two trades. So got the sweep the first. So I wanted this sweep before we get into the trade.
Wait,
So
which first sweep you got? Like this one or like this sweep or
no, I'm looking for like a sweep like here.
for the lows? Okay.
We'll go low. So this sweep first, and then trying to make sense of the sweep. You want to like okay, I needed to weak. I needed to be wicked out before like a candle engulf. So if so we I kind of measure the candles. So like let's say like we have these two candles coming down here, right? So my change of state of delivery would be here. But if I want to enter really on time, like quickly, then before I want that sweep, a failure and probably a downward candle holding and going up.
So like
So
if failure swing CISD, right?
yeah, yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm so kind of yeah, so it was 8:30, 8:30, 9:30. So yeah, we just boom
Rip.
from there. Yeah, we ripped, and I was like, you know what? Because when so much of you rip, this is my target. It's either this or um sorry, Asia high, right? That's the only two targets you get. So if you come to the chart, two of those have already been taken out. It's more of a dicey point to be. So like we've already taken out previous day low, that's one out. And we're taking out um right now, looking at taking out London high. So there was no trade for me, like yeah, so there was no real trade for me to get in from anywhere. Even though we got the change in the state, but it didn't really make sense because I'm entering from 1 minute to go in the trade. So like if you had gotten it from here, it didn't really make sense for me to get in from trade because this was after I think the news. This was all spiked by news. So I was like,
Wait, for like what time do you start trading? What time?
Basically, I started looking for trades from either London. Oh, my son's coming to the office. Hey, go sit down. Okay, still. Yeah, bye. Bye bye. Sorry, my
No worries.
son.
No worries.
So if you want to trade, like if you want to like basically get like the whole concept, it's looking at failure, and then once you get the failures, and then for me, I try to look for those failures between 7:30 and to 8:30, and I want to be, so if I'm going to buy, I want to be discount of a 4 hour range. If I want to sell, I want to be premium of a 4 hour range. It's not just doing it. Those are like the steps I take. So in when the 6 a.m. candle starts, right? I kind of start monitoring trades from there around that time. 6 a.m. 4H candle.
Okay, so you almost trade like the first, like the whole 6 a.m. if you try to find a trade, and then if not, probably the first or second hour of 10 a.m., right?
Yes, 10 a.m. Yeah.
All right, perfect.
So you want to be at that for first. So let's just go to M16. Yeah. These have been good to get in because you
And
had
like,
the sweep, you
and
had the
like, what what
change.
what are your key time frames? So you use like the weekly, also like,
Uh,
what are like the?
weekly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so weekly, because okay, there are two things, right? I'm going from the weekly, right? Weekly, I check the monthly ones just to know
Start of the
overall
month, you
time.
check the monthly, or?
Yeah, I check the month, start of the month.
Mm-hmm.
I check, yeah, that's why I knew like this month was going to be kind of tough, meaning in sales. I checked the month, and then uh uh I check the weekly every Sunday and Wednesday just to see where we want to go to and how we want to move in a week. So like let's say if we're already taking a weekly high and there is no key level, no order blocks, no more like a key level for reversal, no swing high. So I'm not looking for shorts anymore. If we are heading towards, like, let's say we're heading towards a low, like this weekly low, I try to start framing my trade to see how we can take it out, expectation we can take it out. So from 4H, it was more of like, if you have you watched T Trade's draw of liquidity video?
I don't think so. I did. I don't think so.
Yeah, did a video he did like 2 years ago. It's like a daily so that was like, that was my what made sense for me, that was what I started looking at
Mm.
that from that point.
Let
So
me check
like
it
the
out.
job, yeah, you need to check it out. So
Let me see.
it's a
Drone.
maybe 2 years ago, so one day. So basically, it's just before the candle two or candle one. So you're just looking at where the draw liquidity is. So maybe it's like swing highs, swing lows, session highs, session lows, and then you have a direction bias. So let's say this candle right now is bullish, closes beyond this candle's low, this middle candle low. So what you'll be looking for is bearish. So when you start seeing candle failing to displace and close below, then you start holding up for reversal. So this is probably like a reversal signature, more like a candle too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if it fails, your next target will be the high. Let's get to the cleanup. So
So you wouldn't have
this is
taken
what
any trades on Tuesday, within Tuesday, like you?
I think. Take
No.
no. I took
Mm.
my trade here. I took the first trade before I waited for long. There was one trade here I took. I waited for this sweep. So we're 4H in a 4H premium, right? Um, I remember this trade. So I was looking at this range, right? Is it Tuesday? Did it, we did not, no, that's not the one we got close.
So okay, no trades on Tuesday.
Yeah, no trade on Tuesday.
All right. So just go to Wednesday. You can do your Wednesday.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing Wednesday. So Wednesday, I
This
came
is
here.
6 a.m. Okay.
Yeah, Wednesday, we're here. Uh, I was more favoring buys on Wednesday. I wanted buys, so I wanted to sweep here before taking it. So if you look at the 4H candle, yeah, I wanted buys. So I was basically using this range on Wednesday, which I took a buy. Remember I told you I was targeting this Fair Valley gap. So Wednesday we had, I think I took it right after open. The trade came in after the open. We swept and yeah, there it was here. One M was here. This trade was this. We're like I wanted to close, so we failed to close this. Then when we closed above this, I was just like, yeah, so this was the trade. Discount of this range. I don't use like after like we had the change of the state or kind of use I mostly try to be in the discount of the overall range. So let's say we have a change in the state right here. I don't want to be I want to be in the discount of the overall range. I'm not trying to trade from there. So I mostly use the 62 point. So here was my entry. I covered this low and this, I shared it in live. And I just target the high. And that was it. That was my trade. After the news, we had the news on the Wednesday, and then after that, I took on Thursday, I took the shots I wanted to take from the daily Fair Value gap. I tried it in Asia, it didn't work, and I tried it in uh, London. So this was my trade. We just took it around 3 hour. It was not 3 hour, 3 hour. It was probably like I think it was like 2 point something when I closed. Then what's the next on 15? So you see why I took it though? We had this
Failure
Sharafi
to
there.
displace.
Yeah, yeah. Failure to displace, had a little M15 changing the state delivery. And then we came back down, you know. I know we reacted upon this fair value gap, but if we're going to react off, we need to like kind of take it out and then react better. And then but we didn't, so just took it off. Then last one was that's my last trade of the week came in on
So that was your second
no,
trade of the week, or
yeah. Yeah,
okay,
my first trade of the week actually. First trade of the week.
okay.
Then the second trade, did my second trade. This was the most annoying trade. I couldn't sleep after this trade stopped going to break even. So we swept here, right? So first to close, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then I think me and my wife were watching a movie. I was like, oh, she went to bed and I came here. I couldn't sleep. So we're already here, right? I be just like this is like my change in state, delivery. We failure to close. So I want to be, like I said, in 62 point. That I used 2 minutes. I think I used 2 minutes, or no, 3 minutes to get in. So yeah, 3 minutes, yeah, to get in. I was like, I got here and I was here and I was just targeting. I was like, oh, I'm gonna just let it run. Cause I don't expect price to come back anymore after I got tapped in. So then I moved to break even, right? And I was just doing something that, like when you're in a trade that you could not sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up. I was like woke up because I was already feeling like bad. I only took only one trade this week. So then I like woke up and when I woke up I found I was like damn to maybe like I was just waiting like okay maybe London will just do it. I'll get into the trade and I'll hold it. So London did a sweep, right? This sweep, wait, right when this candle closed, this is my next trade.
Oh, Thursday, man. I had bad history with Tuesday. Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. I showed you, I told you in the chat. So always be in the like I want to
Wait,
be in the
why you choose this candle?
Huh?
Why you choose
If you
this
see,
candle?
I choose that candle because if you look in deeper, you see like there's more like an institutional cell here. So that's why I chose this candle.
Okay.
Yeah. And they already kind of already, so I was just expecting like, okay, where am I gonna be in? I want to be in the premium of the range. I want to just take it, and then we got in. And guess what? It came back down. I think I trailed. I only got into one contract. I trailed somewhere and it came back and it stopped me out. All right, trade was it on here? Let me go to 1 minute and I trade somewhere and it stopped me out.
Maybe this
And I
level.
put it,
Yeah.
yeah, it was there. Yeah, and it came back and stopped me out. And yeah, one contract and I was done. Friday, I couldn't trade, you know why? Because I was working. Yeah, so those are my two trades in a week, man. I only try to get on high time frame key level, 4H premium most times, and looking for my chance. So like you have to be in 4H and premium. So I'm already in premium with this
Yeah, extreme premium.
4H. So like yeah, so I don't like trading from what's it called? Like mostly M15, try to use M15. M15 is just like my directional bias. But like basically if I'm not on the 4H premium, if I'm not on the 4H discount, if I cannot find it, there's no trade for me.
Okay. So you trade from almost extreme to extreme.
Yeah, extreme to extreme, yeah.
Okay.
Or continuations. Continuations would be like if let's say let's go to 4H back, man. So many lines in my charts. Uh so continuations would be like, okay, if I'm using, let's say if I'm using this what's it called? If I'm using this range, right?
Mm-hmm.
This range, right? So I want to be around discount level. Sorry, premium and see like, okay, forget premium, or I'll use a new range, a new 4H range. So I'll probably say, okay, this range, I want to use this one. So if we are anywhere around close to the maybe equilibrium, I'll probably start thinking about like taking shots or continuation shots and anything. Yeah, and that really happens mostly because like if you see right now, we already had the displacement during Asia, sorry, during London, we'll probably have a more kind of a pullback and yeah, during New York before more downside.
Okay, so what basically
So
you do, so just to kind of sum it up for people on the chat, if they don't understand, 4 hour range, you go with like a 4 hour range, you wait for like an extreme, probably trade back into the EQ, above the EQ, which is the premium. You wait for like a fair to displace, which is in your case, kind of just straight on above the level and failing to close. Look for like any more change in state, and then you just take it back to the EQ or back to the lows, right?
yeah,
All right,
or equilibrium.
all right.
If you're not following the current trend, equilibrium about to bit. That's why I started trading from here. When you start getting here, this is where you get body put down, this is down. In the living room. Come on, I'm coming back. I'm coming. My wife went to the gym, so I'm just
All
on my
right.
toddler. Yeah. All right. That's all. That's all from my side.
All right. All right. Perfect, man. Perfect. So we got two trades,
That's
almost like two W's, which is perfect. Nice, man. Perfect. So let me see if somebody has any questions because there's like a 20 seconds delay. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. And then if there are no questions, then I'll just hop onto my chart so I can finish my review. Let me see because there's like a delay. Can you see like where we at on stream? Can you check? Can you play
uh,
the stream and see where?
oh damn. Streamer is not playing.
Yeah. Let me see. I think in that case you're still there. Yeah, you're still
Uh,
there. So because we got like a 20-second delay or something.
yeah, I know I tried getting on I tried trading like this was like only the trade. I tried trading the New York session during New York on Thursday, but it was all demo trades, so I don't want to affect my consistency on my alpha capital. You need to have 40%.
Mm-hmm.
If not, you get a payout.
All right. So I think maybe there are no questions. I think it's been like past 20 seconds, I guess. All right.
Yeah.
So let me see my chart. My chart is still here. I'll go and share my screen with you. I'll share. You can see on my screen. You can just hop on and Zoom. It's
Yeah.
a lot better because we got the delay.
Yeah. I see your
So
screen as well.
we capped off on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, it's that on a winner. I was not available to take it. So I think on Wednesday, I came back. Let me see the stream. I think on Wednesday. Let me see what trade I took on Wednesday. I think it was an ES. Yeah, I remember. Wednesday was a fucking ES. ES has just been troublesome. Now let me go to ES. What day was it? 17th. No, it will be 18th. So let me check. February 18th. It was. No, I took actually GC. I actually took gold on 18th. But let's check. So on 18th. So after I finish this week, probably go to do my trade breakdowns probably. But let's just go to this 4-hour candle, which is 10 a.m., which is the one I trade. Let's just skip to 10 a.m., which is somewhere. No, this is 10 a.m. I think there was no since I traded gold, then probably there was a no trading day for me. There was a no trading day. So looking at it, first things first, what do we have? V2-stage PSP here again. So we got that reversal signature. Now you can trade back into this high or that high, or probably like the EQ, the range, which we already traded in. I still remember there was an hourly gap that I wanted to target. There was this hourly gap. I was like, if we filter reverse from this gap, which we are in right now, we got like, if you go from here to here, we got this gap. If we filter reverse from this gap, then probably gonna go to next, which I think it did fail later on. We didn't. Oh, we did trade into it. Okay. But yeah, just from the get go, there was no trade. Just look at 10 a.m. It just literally expanded. If you positioned yourself within the 9 a.m., you could take a trade there, which I think it was on M3. Yep, it was this one, but I did not take it. I don't trade again. You guys know. Now I try to trade the 6 a.m., but on that day I did not trade. But there was this candle here, which was good. This candle here. Probably put your stop here or at the low. But anyways, it's just not the cleanest in terms of profiling because we have no swing formation. I need to be trading this C2. And if you want to trade the C2, what do you need? Either. There are two scenarios where you should trade the C2. First one, two-stage PSP. And in that case, two-stage PSP, there are two things. SMT plus PSP, or the PSP plus SMT. So if you want to trade the SMT, if you want to trade the first case, which is the PSP confirming the SMT, you cannot really trade the C2 because you'll have to wait for the PSP closure. So in that case, this one has to close. Then you'll be confirming that two-stage cracking correlation. So in that case, you'll be trading the C3. So this one gets taken out. So it's only now the two-stage strength switch. So we got the second case, which is the PSP. So the PSP closes, and then you trade the SMT. So after we get the SMT, which is the second cracking correlation, so now you can trade the C2, which in that case we don't have because we got the PSP, which is good. Now what do we require? That SMT with the previous candle's low, or with like irrelevant swing, but ideally with that candle's low, which we don't have here. If you really check, this one traded below the low. YM did too, and also ES did. So again, this one is not on the list. We take that off too. What do we got? Two-stage strength switch. We got a strength switch, which we don't have here too. If you really check, all assets traded below that low. If we had like this level traded here, and then we have this candle traded above, probably could have formed a two-stage, but since this one also took out a low, so there's no two-stage there. M15, probably same case. The only thing you can trade, I think you took that trade, I guess. Yeah, this is that trader you took, Merchant. This is the only thing you could have taken. PSP, swing formation, taking this CISD now. What we're doing with that CISD is confirming the low of the 6 a.m. Again, where's that daily profile? If we really look at it, let me go to 1800, which should be somewhere near. Okay, so we opened low. We have that M15 CISD. So now what do we have? Low of day, current low of day, and now we're just confirming the 6 a.m. just above that low of day. And not only that, we also have this SMT here. So that's the only confirmation you could have had. Is this M15? You either can take the M15, or what you can do. Again, this is that confirmation of the profile of, this is more of like New York reversal. Not a reversal because we're already aligned with daily, but in terms of like that intraday price action, this is that reversal that you want to see. It looks really clean on NQ. ES is not the cleanest that reversal because price has already expanded. This candle is like more of a bulkier candle compared to this one. If you really check, this candle also confirmed this opposing candle. So now the only thing you can do is probably go to M3 or M5, which we had that entry. So we wait for the open low. This is the first 5 minutes of the candle. What do we have? SMT here, SMT here, Again, so this one is still holding, this was stronger, it's still the stronger. If we go to YM, it was the weaker, and it's still the weaker, so we don't have really any minor strength switch. Even if you were trying to confirm it on the lower time frame, there's no strength switch here. Then you take the next candle, which confirmed the auto block, then probably could market execute, stops at the body, and then you'll have to go for the next gap or just try to frame 2R, whatever you want to do with. Probably, if I was gonna take this trade, again, I would not anticipate to reverse from this high, neither this high, and just above it we got the hourly gap. Since it gives 1 to 2, 1 to 2.8, I'll probably try to take 2R here. So let's see if we got a retracement or not. And we did not. So I would have probably missed that trade. Yeah, probably missed it, I think. Or, yeah. Or I just probably market execute, take that, and try to go for a little bit beyond it. Anyways, either way, this wasn't really valid for me, especially that the current 4-hour candle is trading bearish. It was really bearish. So now we're just trading first a candle that doesn't support expansion, because really this one traded way deep in a range, and you're trying to trade this open low. You're trying to now anticipate that open high, like that expansion. Ideally, you want to wait for that new 10 a.m. to kind of expand, because this is the reversal candle followed by the expansion candle. So for me, I wouldn't have traded this one, even though like Garrett took it and other people took it. But for me, probably not, because I was on the charts at that time, but I did not trade it. So yeah, that could have been a trade for the people that are there if they want to force it. Not force, but this one is like a B plus trade. This is like an A plus. This is like a B or a B plus. I'm not really good with like the A plus and B plus, so yeah, that could have been like a B plus. It could have been better on NQ because we got the confirmation of the closure first. Again, same. This one is the weakest asset, and it kind of see I see it later on compared to NQ. So again, stronger asset was still stronger, and you kind of see ISD it first. So it is expected to get to the high first. So that's like the expected thing to happen. So, yep. That could have been the trade for Wednesday. And I think later on, price did nothing. It just kind of ranged for the whole session. Probably nothing. Yeah. I think this is the trade you took, right? Maybe like this is the trade you took. We have like a fair to displace. But yeah, overall, again, looking at this 10 a.m. candle, we have shallow opposing run, and we just expanded. So ideally, if I want to trade this 10 a.m. candle, I would want to be willing to trade away from this gap to kind of trade back into the highs, because there's nothing really here reversed off of. If we wanted to reverse, this is kind of the only significant high we can reverse from, and price expanded way beyond it, then ranged. When you have that expansion range, then probably price will not reverse. And again, it's just given time for that weaker asset to catch up to that same high, which it already did, and again failed to reverse. It just ranging. So even if you want to try take an asset resync to kind of trade that resync phase of price, you couldn't have done. So, or the SMT break, you couldn't. Now let me see if you could have traded the SMT break. Not really. You could have not. So again, there was no strength switch there. So yep, the only thing you could have done. Let me see. Nothing actually. So this was the only trade for that day. That's why I traded GC. Let me just go to GC and see what trade I took. It was 10 a.m. I took it at 10. Oh, I remember. It was this CISD. Was it this one? Let me see what time I got in. Let me see. It was literally 10. I got in at 10. Oh, no. Oh my god, it was ES. Sorry, guys. It was ES 18th. So I did get in on ES on the 18th. Let me check. Oh, I remember. It was this one. This is the trade I took. So let me just go ahead and break it down. Got an NQ right there. And again, just going with that profile, where we got on the 4-hour. Oh, now I remember when I was looking for that gap. I think it was on ES, and then which we failed to get to. Yep, now I remember. Yep. This is, all right, now the idea just got clear. If you really check, we traded into the gap, we failed to reverse. Tapped in 1 second, third time. Now, with that candle expanding and almost kind of confirming the CIC, I was like, maybe it's 10 a.m. just going to expand. So what I did was this. Since we're trading really near the high, and I don't know if we're going to reverse from that high or not, because this is the only area we can reverse from. What I did is just I waited for price to kind of expand beyond the high and then give me a fair to manipulate signature. The next relevant swing is this. The next key level that we can reverse off of is the gap. So what I did is the following. Again, what do we got? 4-hour, 2-stage PSP. And again, this one is a Let me go to YM, see what's going on. This is more of a like a strength switch. The stronger one is putting like a weaker asset, but still like the stronger is still putting a stronger. But again, it's just not the best cracking, not the best strength switch. Anyways, we got the C2 closure away from the low of day. So now we got a cracking correlation with the low of day. C2 closure, PSP.
When you say two-stage PSP, are you talking about like having two SMCs?
Nope. What a PSP is if you really check here. Let me turn on the indicator. Take it off. Put it back on. So PSP is. Do you see this candle? If you really check on the other asset, this one is bullish, but if you go to NQ or YM, it will be bearish. So PSP is when one of the asset closes bullish and the other one closes bearish on the other two.
Okay.
So that's the PSP. And I just, this is my indicator. I made that indicator just to make it easier for me to really check two parameters.
You can share the info with me.
Huh?
You can share the details with me.
All right. So that was like the indicator. So now we're just going to continue with the NQ. And again, looking at ES, we got the two stage. Now we can easily expand beyond the high because this is the reversal candle. Now what we need is that expansion candle just to expand. Again, the only level we can reverse off of is this high. So that's why I was a bit cautious with it. So I waited for the M3. Some people, they could have taken an entry here. And again, that could have been an entry. Or you could have waited for the gap. Price retrace back in the gap. Put your stop at the body of the candle. Which I don't think we did get. And here, I got my failure to reverse, failure to manipulate. Traded back into the gap. We got this closure here. And I think I got in at, I think it was the M5. Yep, it was the M5. I got in here. If I do remember, it was here. Market executed right there. Put my stop here. Then I was going for this level. But let me see the exact price that I got in. It was 6887, 6887.75, 688. What?
Yeah, that's the
What
trade
is that?
method. Like you close the trade. You close the trade too early though.
No, no,
Because
no,
it
no.
went back up.
691375, 6913. It was my mistake. It was like this is the 691375. Ah, yeah. Almost at the market execution. I put my stop, if I don't remember. It was at the body of the candle because we got, yeah. Because we got a gap on M3. Because we had this gap, I just put my stop here. And then I was going for a little bit beyond the high. I got in on that trade. And then I think it started ranging. Yep. Once we got
Then
like
you
this
closed
taper
it.
trade. Yeah, exactly. And I closed it somewhere in here. And price, I think it didn't reach the TP anyways. Yep. It was almost going to TP and then it reversed. But anyways, I couldn't have survived that trade. I could have probably trailed my stop after we got this IC. Could have taken a break even on it. Or, and also, oh no, no, I closed here. Let me see the minute I closed. It was
What?
10:852, 10:852, which is like 10:9. Oh, I closed. What? Oh 09. Is it 09? Nope. Oh, this is MGC. No, 25. At 25, I closed. 25, 20. Yeah, this is the candle I closed, and then it kind of retraced back to break even immediately. I had my sell stop here to kind of get out of break even, but I just market executed there. And again, it just ended up ranging, and later on, it just failed. The idea failed. So the stop was still protected there, and then it was like really close to TP, and then reversed. But anyways, I couldn't have survived this whole range. Probably taking a break even there, or close somewhere in here. I'm not sure, depending on a lot of factors. But yeah, that could have been, so that was like a half an hour loss because that was like the full loss, and I just closed somewhere in here, so that's like a half an hour loss. But again, this was, if you wanted really to take a trade on that day, this trade could have been the cleanest. So yeah, but in terms of rating this ES trade, it's not the best if you really look at it. I think it expanded way beyond the 2.5. If you really want to take a trade, ideally you want to take it before the 2.5. Ideally you want to target this level, and then here you want to see like a two-stage cracking correlation. If you do, you can go to like 4.5, which you don't have. Price has already expanded a lot, and I'm just getting in here. That was like the only mistake. And also the other thing is we don't have any really relevant swing to the left. If you don't have any relevant swing to the left, just like yesterday, just like that trade on Tuesday, if we go to NQ, just like this trade, you want to target that whatever high that was formed or the current high day, which in that case we didn't have, so it's like just an empty leg. So that was like the only mistake, if I want to say that I made a mistake on that trade. Yep, that would be it. I think, oh, we didn't have E2 stage. I think, let me see, we had E2 stage? No, we didn't have E2 stage. All right, so that was like the trade for Tuesday. So it was like a half an hour loss. I missed out on that one because I was on a plane. This one, I took a minor R minus 0.5 hour, and now let's go to Thursday, which is the worst day of the week. Let me go to Thursday. There was a really clean trade. Let me just clean the charts. Clean this one. Clean this one. SMT. YM. SMT with YM. So go to 8. Middle. Bottom. Center. Alright. Okay, perfect. So now just go to 10 a.m. And there was a really clean trade, by the way, on after I took the 2 L's, there was a really clean trade. But again, since I took 2 L's, I was just like, let me call it a day. Since I took just my limit for the day was over. So again, looking at this day from the get-go, first things first, we haven't engaged with any relevant swing. Let me see. Yes. Let me take this one off. First things first, is this irrelevant swing? Like somewhat it is, but we're still close proximity to that level, and this one is a lot cleaner in terms of a swing formation. Like we got 2 opposing candles and then the expansion up. So if you want to just take your range, like this would be your range. It wouldn't really be that one. But again, that's the first mistake. So just going with that one. What do we have? C2 closure. We don't have any 2 stage or 1 stage. But again, we have that 1 stage for the SMT. NQ did not take that high. If you really take a look at NQ, first stage, second stage, this one with YM, second stage with ES. So in that case, when we have a 2 stage with 2 assets, what do I tell you guys? When we have 1 stage, for example, with YM, second one ES, probably NQ is here, which is that mid asset, because it's stronger than asset and it's weaker than another one. But in that case, it's both stronger. So let's just continue. C2 closure. The profile for the day doesn't support really expansion to the upside. Open high, which is above this one. Again, this is that like the same concept that Merchant uses, kind of that fairy to displays. This was by the way, in terms of profile in this candle, for the people that trade London, this was like an absolute banger. If you really check on hourly, really clean. This was EPSB. We got that second stage here. Let me turn on the indicator. I don't know why sometimes I have to take it off and then put it back on to be able to detect the PSB. Oh, wait. I think I'm doing the filter by signal, filter by time. Yep. Oh, no, it's not. I don't know why it's not showing. This was EPSB, by the way. I'm sure this was EPSB. Yeah, why am I at EPSB? Let me check. Let me do it manually. NQ. Yeah, it was this. This was bullish. This was bullish. I don't know why it's not showing here. Anyways, this was a bullish candle, and if you really check on YM, we got the second stage with YM. PSP. So in that case, as I said earlier, when you want to trade the C2, which in that case, this is the C2, what do you need? The PSP to come first and then the SMT. So in that case, you would take this one. And again, the only level to kind of reverse off of is this candle's high. Why? Because if you really check, we've been arranging within this candle whole a lot. We have this CISD confirming the high of day, the previous high of day, and also a tiny gap, which is almost invisible, but again, it was there. That 2-stage PSP, this one is 3 a.m. So what do we have? Open high of 2 a.m. candle into the key level. So again, the first one is key level. Second is 2-stage cracking correlation. Third one is that swing formation. So in that case, you could trade this expansion candle, and it was really clean. I think there was an entry on M5 or M3. I'm not sure. Let's go to M3C. Let's go check it out before we go to 10 a.m. So you could have taken this CISD or the M5. I think you could have been earlier. So you could have gotten in here, CISD, and you just go there. Again, whatever you want to do it. If you see these as fair swings, you can just go ahead and take it off here. Or if you're, because now you're aligning yourself with that high of day, with that current. Let me see if that's high of day. Yep. Now you're trading away from the current high of day with the 2-stage cracking correlation, and you could trade back into the low of day, the current low of day, or just for expansion away, like either into that level or whatever. So that could have been like an insane trade. So if you guys trade London, these are the types of trades you want to take. And if you want to trade London, and if you want to trade Asia, ideally, you want to position yourself within either the low of day or high of day, ideally, to be able to get like the expansion that you're looking for. Anyways, let's go back to my L's, to the trades I took. 4 hour, as I said, C2 closure. Let me go to here. Shadow below the level. C2 closure. So now, the only thing you can do, since this is a protected high, in my opinion, this is the high of day. Just want to go like the EQ, the range, and then target something in here. I cannot target the high, so I just target somewhere in here. Looking on hourly, we do have that. This is not a. We still need to another candle that trade above. Yep. So now again, what do we have? A two-stage PSP. In terms of the hourly, this is a clean profile, but in terms of the hourly, it's not. And again, this is like a similar case of the trade I took last day, which is Wednesday, but I did not learn from my mistake because I did not journal and I did not really give it a time to kind of look at it. Now I'm trading into a protected level. That's first things first. This is my opinion, protected level. We got the CISD forming the high of day. And some people would be like, oh, this is also a protected level. But the profiling comes in handy. Open high, two-stage crack and correlation, expansion lower. Now this is the ideal profile for a bearish day. And looking at the daily, let me see if there was like a C2. Also, looking at the previous day, what do we have? A C2 closure on YM from a gap. So now this day was anticipated to be a bearish candle, at least into the previous low of day. Going back to the 4 hours again. Now this is where that profiling comes in. This is when you get like two profiles. Now this is where it comes the cracks and correlation, daily candle, daily profiles, a lot of things. So looking at hourly, we have this continuation here forming the high of day. Second thing, I don't really have any level to target here to the left. So the only level I can target is the current high, this high. Look, same issue. Nothing to target. You're just literally taking a gamble. Something to target is just the high. So now if I want to get in, like I just want to be out by this high. So going to the M3, which I should wait for my entry on M3. But what did I do? I went to the M4, which is the first time in my life using an M4. We got this CISD here. So now what do we have? This is where my mistake comes in. Look at that. We already traded above the hourly swing. That is the only area to reverse from. So just from the get-go, that shouldn't have been a trade. And if you really check on M3, what do we have? A failure to CISD. So if you guys remember, the people that were on the stream, once price was retracing back, I was going to close, and it was like, you know what? Let me just hold for 4 minutes. I got in at the retest. Come on. So I got in at the retest, stops at the low. And I was going for a 2R, which in that case, look, I'm going into this protected swing that I shouldn't be aiming to target. So that was kind of my trade. The M3 referred to CISD, and again, as you guys know, I wait for the M3 or M5. M5, there was no opposing candle. There was nothing here to kind of frame a trade from. M3, there was a clean level from the gap. So first mistake, nothing to target. We traded above that hourly swing, which I shouldn't be trading beyond, or just like target this order block, which we did kind of trade into. Either the order block, or you can also call it a breaker because we have the gap here. Yeah, so that was like my mistake. Now we're not waiting for the M3. That was like the first mistake. Second thing is like we traded beyond that hourly swing, which could have been my target. Third thing is I'm trading into a protected level. And the fourth thing, trading the 4 minute, which I shouldn't be trading. And if you really check, another mistake that I did on 4. Again, we did trade into a gap, but it's not the cleanest. If you want to take a trade, take it on M3 or M5. That's just take it from me. Especially when you have a clean sell to buy, just take the cleanest sell to buy. Sell to buy, take it on M3. M5, there's nothing. M1, like even the M1, I think we failed to see it. No, we did see it on M1. But again, we just expanded beyond that high. But yeah, we went straight to my stop loss. And then here I got in on another trade. So that was the first trade. Again, going against that daily profile. So that was like my first mistake. But I tried to kind of make it right by going to M15. We had like a 2-stage PSP here, if you really check. We had like almost 3 stage. First stage, we got the PSP. Second one is that candle traded above, if you really check. And now we got that strength switch. So now I was like, okay, now we're trading away from a high of day. We got the low of day as a target. Probably this is a fair to manipulate, and probably just gonna go ahead and catch up. We just probably trade just like YM, just start expanding lower. So we get that 2-stage. But the M3, as you guys know, I hate to trade from an order block. I know what we see. First things first, we inverse that gap. Second thing, if you really check that CISD, it's not the cleanest. We did trade above the high. There is no displacement there, no gaps. M5 looks a bit cleaner, but again, still kind of trading that failure that failure swing CISD, which is not my favorite. Ideally, I want to trade away from a key level. So I took my trade here, trying to go for short after that strength switch and that two-stage PSP, going for this low, I guess. And then it was like absolutely just instantly I got taken out. So just trade above, took me out. And also, like we did CISD here, we did get that CISD. In terms of this one, there's not much I can say about this one. I think it's just the lower time frame PA that was not the cleanest. And ideally, as you guys know, if you want to trade the reversal of that 4-hour candle, ideally you want to wait for an hourly swing. Like for me, what I found out working best, what I found out the best is just like waiting for an hourly swing to form and then trade the reversal candle, which in that case could have saved me from a loss. And if you guys really check, let me just go out and cover it for y'all. If you wait for the hourly, for that 10 a.m. candle to close, which is this candle, how it closed, I say C2, right? But looking down at this C2 here, so this is that C2, right? First 10 a.m. First candle at 10 a.m. So this is will show you either we're going to fail to displace above a high, or we're just going to continue beyond it and just probably go to these highs. Go to 30 minute. What do we see? What do we see here? I think we had a string. Yep. Did we trade above? Not really. But we have just this SMT here. I think it was with NQ. Let me NQ see. Nope, it was not NQ. But I think we got a second stage here. So looking at YM, first things first, we get this SMT. So within the hourly candle, we got the SMT. And I think we did get something else here. What was it? I don't remember. It was on probably an M15. I don't remember actually. Let me check. What is that PSP? This is the PSP. I don't remember. We did have a two-stage correction correlation here. Yep. I found it on a 45. On a 45, we got a two-stage PSP. So if you really check, we got the PSP closing and we got that second stage. So now you can trade this candle, which is the 1030. And again, this is the 1030. It's a bit earlier than the hourly closure, but that's at least the 45 is a lot better than the M15. We got a PSP. The second stage, we traded into a key level. So what you could do is just trade this candle or wait for that candle, the next candle to expand, which is the 1115. So now what do you have? With the 90-minute candle closure, a two-stage PSP. As you guys know, I trade also the 90-minute nowadays. So what do we have? PSP, second stage, and you could have just traded this reversal here. Could have traded this. Again, that failure swing, when we expand, we displace, we get a gap. From the gap, we have this CISD. But by then, it was 11. I already took that second L. So, yep. But again, like the same idea played out on YM, but it did not play out on NQ, on ES. Due to the fact that we don't have that hourly closure. And you could have taken it here, stop at the high. You could have just expanded to the lows. That could have been an easy 2R. Again, I could have put it here because I wouldn't classify this as a gap. This is like more of that volume imbalance. Put my stop there, go for 2R. And that could have been a clean trade to take actually. Probably by the time it retraces that deep, we get that CSD. I could have probably traded to the body, the M1 or something. Let me see if I have any gaps on M1. Yup, I think we could have probably trailed here because if you really check, when we expanded, we formed this gap. So I could have either put it at the body of this candle or like the high. So I could have been saved there. Another CIZ, probably trailed my stop at break even and then see that expansion lower. But yeah, unfortunately, I just took my shot a bit earlier on ES. And that was like the lesson. If I want to trade the reversal candle, ideally I want to wait for like at least the 45 two-stage. So that would save me a lot. Again, for waiting for that two-stage, or even if you waited for this candle to close to confirm the two-stage, now you're trading this candle here. So you could frame this open high. If you really check, what we had again, open high into what? Into this opposing candle. So you could take the retest, stops at the high, and then go for the lows, or go for that low to the left, which in that case probably could have been this for me. As you guys know, I go for the sweeps. Since we don't have a sweep there, probably not hourly. Let me see. Yep, I could have went for this low here instead. So that could have been my trade, probably. Something in here, and since it's not given to R, we'll just try to squeeze the R out of it. Let me see if it did hit or not. Yeah, it did hit. So that could have been probably my trade. But again, I took my 2 shots on ES a bit earlier on. So yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. So again, also that day, there was a clean profile that we could have just followed. But yeah, it is what it is. So we missed out on, I took an L here. I missed out on that one, and then that could have been a clean short on YM. It's a lot cleaner. So again, just waiting for that 90-minute candle to close, and then trading the second stage. So the 90-minute, the 9 a.m. 90-minute candle close. So it closed at 10:30, and since we don't trade until 10, you could either trade this two stage, but looking at this, it's like open high, really price expanded way beyond. So you wait for the 45 to close. 45 closed at 11:15. So 11:15, you're opening up within what? Two-stage cracking correlation, going stronger into a key level, two-stage PSP, clean drawn liquidity, another clean drawn liquidity, aligned with that daily profile, trading away from the hive day into from also a key level. If you really check, this gap did end up holding. The wicks we just ended up wicking it, and yeah, that could have been probably the trade. But anyways, I might took my shot a bit earlier. So now we go to Friday, but on Friday there was nothing. Literally there was nothing. So I don't have to go over it. We just traded it yesterday, so there were no trades here. M15, yeah, literally nothing. The only thing like maybe this gap didn't try to expand, but it's not. We don't have EC2. We don't have nothing like that. So yeah, even that expansion is not. It's not the cleanest. So that's why I did not take any trades yesterday. The only one you could have taken probably like M15, confirming the low of day from a key level back into the high. That's like the only thing I can see. Like, yeah, put stops at the body and then target the high. But I don't trade the M15. I don't trade this. Yeah, especially that late into the day. For example, that gold Monday I took because it was early out on in the day and I was trying to catch the high of day, but now it's not. It's a bit later on. So, and we get the volatility driver coming in. So ideally, you want to confirm it to like the M3 or something, which we don't have in that case, and we just ended up ranging for the whole session. So yeah, probably So how many trades we could have gone in? One. This was an L that I took. Two. Let me see NQ. So this is the first trade that we could have taken. First on Monday. This one before 10, so I wouldn't really count that one. So this was like a clean one. This is not a trade. And yeah, on ES. On YM. So I would say like two trades. Two clean trades. And also I took that L. That's like more of a valid. The one I took on ES, it's a little bit valid. That Wednesday's loss. Where was it? ES. This one was a little bit valid, but the ones I took yesterday are not the best. Because I was trading against that daily profile and also the last 4-hour candle. Yep. So merchant, are you still here or?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably it. And for gold, let me see if one more thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and break that RB trade that I took, which I think I did already break down on stream. But I think I do remember what it was. It was not this one, for sure. It was on Tuesday. Yep. Oh yeah, I missed out on that one. This is the trade I took. This is the one I took. Bro, I still remember. Literally here, I was doing check-in. I'm looking at my phone. Then I was like, fuck that shit. Let me just continue my check-in. It was here. So I got taken out, and then price ended up going for the draw. It was a really clean trade from a two-stage PSP, if I do remember. Let me check. Let me just try to break it down real quick. Come on. 30-minute. I'm not sure if it was like a two-stage PSP or not. Let me just open CL here, or HO. If you go to CL, not really. HO. Yeah, it was a strength switch. That's why I traded this candle here. Oh, was it? No. What was it? Was it a two-stage PSP? I don't really remember. Let me check. Yep, two-stage PSP. This is a PSP. This is that second stage. If you really look at that bearish candle, this one is a PSP. Probably on CL it's. But why it shows a PSP here? HO. Let me take that off. So we got. I don't remember actually why I took it. 30-minute. So we only have a one stage here. HO. M3. Let me check. I think we confirmed the second stage a bit earlier. Firm traded lower. Then we traded high. I think just because of that one stage. Yeah. I think it was just this one stage again. Trading away from the high of day, which traded below the low. We formed the new C2 closure with the one stage cracking correlation, and we still have that open draw. And I was aligned with that previous 4 hour candle. So again, once you have that reversal established, you just need the one stage cracking correlation. That's what we have here. And again, it's not into a gap. There's nothing relevant there. But if you really check on each, oh, there is. So that was like more of an SMT fail. C2 closure. So you can just trade into the draw on liquidity, or you can trade into one of these lows. I cannot really trust this one because this is like more of a manipulation level. So I don't really target this one. So that was like the idea of the trade. Opening up with 10 a.m. was just like probably just 10 a.m. just going to expand directly into the draw, which it did not. We ended up going higher a little bit, then confirming the CISD. In that case, if I want to get in on that trade, I would take this one, stops just at the body of the candle, then try to look for expansion for that 2R, which could have been here. Because what do we have? We have a gap. So now we can use the gap as the new invalidation level that price is going to respect. So we can just put our stop at the body and then expand. But in that case, we don't have any gaps, so that's why I put it at the high. But yeah, after I get the L, just closed my phone. I was like, you know what? Let me just. The focus now is just to fly safe back to here. So yep, these are all the trades that I took this week. I hope you guys learned something. And yeah, bro, make back this video. All right, soon. We'll try to make one soon. One soon. Thank you. Welcome W. Yo, what's up, man? Yeah, you wanna share your chart? Merchant, you wanna give him something? You wanna share like a lesson or something you learned this week or something?
No, not really. I'm done. The only thing, because we're already, I think we're already past time. I don't want to spend more time on this, make it too long.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, probably that caps off this week's recap. If you guys learned something, that's the goal. And probably we'll do one next week too, Merchant, or what do you think?
Yeah, we can do it next week as well.
All right, perfect. So I hope you guys learned something. If you missed the stream, you can just go ahead and check the trades that were missed. You'll see the full breakdown, the trades I took, the trade that Merchant also took. How they can reach out to you, Merchant. Like I think
Me.
you're
I'm in the Discord as well.
this is your IG, right? @merchant/effect, right? If I don't remember.
Yeah, that's my
So
IG.
so that's his IG, guys. If you guys want to reach out, you have any questions or something, this is IG. And yeah, that really caps it off. See you guys on Monday.